February was underway, and I was busy planning and shooting videos. If you've been with me for a while, you may recognize Lorraine. She's a travel agent, and we've created several videos together. She came from a fast-paced corporate life and opted for following her passion and fulfilling her soul. It's stories like hers that I love telling.
After 35 years in the business world, I was kind of feeling pretty burned out and sitting at a desk thinking, what do I want to do with the rest of my life? What do I always love? And I love travel. So I started searching and I found this amazing travel franchise called Cruise Planners. And I purchased the franchise and the rest is history. Gosh, I have so many favorite travel stories, but I have to say the one that was the biggest impression on me, because I am an absolute Beatles fanatic, is I had the opportunity to go into Abbey Road Studio all by myself with the guard and sit at Paul McCartney's piano and stand on the rooftop where they sang Let It Be, and it was just, I'll never forget it for the rest of my life. Why do I travel? I think everyone in the world needs to understand that they're just like everybody else, and that this world is a small place, and in the end, we're all one community. And you don't get that if you don't travel. You don't get that living in your little town and only seeing your people you're comfortable with. You only get that when you get on a plane and go meet someone new. And that's why I love travel.
Hearing Lorraine's why reminded me of my own why, especially when it comes to creating little videos like these. We are always so focused on what makes us different from others. But I want to create videos that bring us together, to remind us that deep down we are all the same. And it was with my brain full of inspiration and ideas for future projects that I met up with my good friend Jackie one Saturday in February. We were getting our first small taste of spring. The temperature had warmed slightly, so we ventured off to Stafford Springs. I had driven unexpectedly through this town last summer. And while it charmed me instantly, it was this scene of the railroad tracks trailing beside the road, the stone bridge arching over the river, and the Gothic steeple of the town hall reaching into the morning sunlight that captured my heart. It was magical. A fairy tale town come to life. At the time, I had no clue where I was, but I knew I had to find out. After doing some research, I discovered it was the small mill town of Stafford Springs. I returned a week later with my husband Kevin, and we spent an amazing summer afternoon exploring every inch we could. And now I was back, but it was winter, and I wondered if the town would still be as charming in the weak winter sunlight. I love exploring small New England towns like this one. They have so much complexity. There's layers of history and personality. From the questionable to the charming and everything in between. Most old mill towns have a wonderful mix of history and art. Old mills converted to artist lofts, colorful displays around Main Street, and historic buildings packed full of interesting architecture, charming details, and artistic craftsmanship. Roaming these quirky streets, I feel somewhat cheated. So many towns are now full of strip malls where everything is the same. A mix of big box stores and corporate restaurants with their cookie cutter facades. Gone is the experience of places like this, leisurely wandering the sidewalks, peering in the windows to marvel at displays, custom artwork, and all the quirky little details. Jackie and I took our time exploring every corner of the town, talking and catching up on life.
Kevin the other day because we went to Dunkin' and he got an iced coffee. And he's like, yeah, this is a New England thing, by the way. You don't go anywhere else and order an iced coffee.
Yeah,
They
people
look
make
at you
fun of
crazy.
New Englanders like all the time for that, but I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess it is just like, again, like one of those weird things, like how everybody in New England is just like, yeah, it's freezing cold, but give me an iced coffee.
That's just so funny. I think it's hilarious. It's just one of those quirks, like, it just makes me love New England more, because we're all these weirdos.
And as we talked, we began to plan a project that I'm hoping will come to fruition. Before heading home, we ventured over to a nearby park to take in the last hour of daylight. By February, the sight of snow is less charming than it is at the beginning of the winter. But today, surrounded by the golden glow of late afternoon sun, watching the sunlight skim across it, or the water moving under the ice, it was enchanting. It felt hopeful, like spring was almost here. And in typical New England fashion, it snowed that night. In fact, it snowed for nearly 24 hours straight. When we woke up the next morning, we were in a winter wonderland once again. But we were not deterred. We put on our boots and hit the trails for an afternoon walk. And it was truly beautiful out, walking alongside the river, the snow falling softly around us, and not another soul around. We had the entire place to ourselves. I enjoyed just being able to pause and watch the flakes swirl and dance around us. And there's always a sense of adventure when you visit a new place or walk a new trail. You never know what could be around the next bend. And as we settled down that evening to watch the Super Bowl, the snow began to fall even harder, and it looked like winter wasn't ending anytime soon. And before I knew it, February was halfway over, and my birthday was here. And with it came a trip I was so excited for. I can't wait to share where we went.